Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Chasing Psychological Safety. Today, we talk about doing the human work again. Who is it that does the human work? What does it take to do the human work? And what are some of the facts and truths about the human work? So we keep talking about this human work, people work, which is essentially all of the practice we have to put in place so that we get a better work environment from the point of view of our interpersonal relationships and our team dynamic. And those are things that we say over and over again should be intentional, should be put there with intent and with the willingness to make a better life for everyone, because they will then translate into performance. We make no secret out of the fact that we strongly believe that obviously happier teams will give you a much more productive work environment. So outside of that, and the fact that there is a very clear monetary and strategic imperative to keeping your people in their best shape, I think it's important that we come back to what this people work is like, what it's like to grasp it, what it's like to deal with it, what it's like for the advocates, what it's like for the superhumans, what it's like for everybody else. And maybe we should start by saying that while no one likes to blow their own horn and nobody wants to be immodest, realistically, doing this human work is incredibly difficult in organizations, and it is incredibly worthwhile and necessary. It's a really, really big deal. If we stop to think about it, our work lives, the vast majority of us have work lives where there's a lot of things that we're doing where we don't enjoy, such as, kind of things that are very heavy, things that are admin, things that are unpleasant, and then there are things that are downright painful and we dread them. And then on top of it, you have your burnout and your anxiety and depression and the flux and the pandemic, and all of these things come together in essentially work dread, which we almost all have. And what we're saying here is this human work will minimize that. It may not do away with all of it. There are plenty of people that go to work who for individual reasons are never going to be extremely happy with what they're doing. But with that said, if we can start working on the dynamic at a team level, if we can hold the space for the human work, if we help people understand that their feelings, their emotions, and the interaction in the team now matters, that is an incredibly big improvement to their work lives. And that thread becomes from that big, slightly smaller, so then it's really worthwhile.
And there's more good news. There are a couple of things that it's really important to know, but that ultimately are a good news story for you. One of them, and this is going to sound weird, is that it's hard. It's uncomfortable, it's difficult work. But making this space for the human work, for reducing the human debt, is where the gold is. So in every walk of life, we know that pushing ourselves out of our comfort zones, doing the work that is uncomfortable and difficult, is what gets us the greatest growth, gets us the greatest ideas, gets us the greatest advancement towards productivity, towards performance, and ultimately towards achieving what really matters to us, which is having some meaning and some impact with the work that we do. So whilst I say it's good news, I do mean it. This is uncomfortable work and it's difficult, but get stuck in because the gold is on the other side. And the other one is that you're not alone. You haven't got to do this on your own. Look around you for the support that is available to you. When you're trying to make advances, take those steps with the people around you in your team or in a series of teams, depending on what your role is in the organization. Look for a support either from the organization. So if you're on the exec team, look for support from the exec team. If you're in a management role and you've got a couple of team or a team, look to them for support internally within that team, but also look around the organization for advocates. There are more of you out there wanting to do this work as well. You don't have to be alone in advancing this win-win agenda.
And this is the time. There's no doubt about it. We all feel it, we all can tell, but this is the time that the conversation around human topics has been elevated to a serious topic and not something that we're doing after work. let's use this time. There's no telling how long it's going to last us, but it is the perfect time to reduce some of that fabled human debt that we keep talking about, and to actually put things that are actionable in place. Make sure you hinge it around data, make sure you hinge it around actionable things and not conversations and words only. Make sure you make it into measurable results that the business can see back, so that it is sustainable for them to keep giving you organizational permission. And so if you start hitting those things and then kind of start enjoying how immensely big of a difference this is to people's lives, start noticing those smiles, those little minuscule gestures of gratitude from the team, the moments when they really go well together and they gel and they're doing great things, all of those things are going to help propulse all of us into the human work. And that it does need to become habit, and it does need to be put before the other operational or delivery work. So good luck doing all that. As ever, come talk to us if you wanted some supporting software in doing that work. And if not, at the very least, make sure you've recharged your batteries, dusted off your cape, and went back to the fight. Thank you, and see you next week.
Thank you. Bye-bye.